Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squetta, and thanks for joining us today. Now the news making the headlines. Nigerian president travels to Mali. DR Congo president announces lifting of virus restrictions. Coronavirus, Boris Johnson says response show the might of UK Union. Oil falls to $43 as US crude inventories rise. EPL title, club says it's an absolutely great moment. Stay with us as the details of the news come after this timeout. Welcome back. Now the news in details. Nigerian president travels to Mali. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, said Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari will be departing Abuja for Bamako, Mali today. He said the journey followed the briefing the president received from former President Goodluck Jonathan on the crisis in Mali. Adesina disclosed this in a statement titled President Buhari Embarks on Peace Mission to Mali. The statement said President Muhammadu Buhari will depart for Bamako, Republic of Mali, on a one-day visit following the briefing by the ECOWAS Special Envoy to the country, former President Goodluck Jonathan. The Nigerian president and some ECOWAS leaders led by the chairman of the Authority of Head of States and Governments of the Sub-Regional Organization of Niger Republic agreed to meet in Mali to embark in further consultations towards finding a political solution to the crisis in the country. Host President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta and President Macky Sall of Senegal, Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana, and Alassane Ouattara of Côte d'Ivoire are expected to participate in the Bamako meeting. Former President Goodluck Jonathan was at the State House of the company in company with the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Mr. Jean-Claude Cassibrou, on Tuesday to brief President Muhammadu Buhari on the unfolding situation in Mali, necessitating the visit of the ECOWAS leaders to consolidate on the agreement reached by the various parties. The former president had informed Buhari about his activities as special envoy to restore amity to Mali, rocked by protest against President Keïta, who has spent 2 out of 5 years in his second term in office. And now moving forward, the Senate gives the President September deadline to present 2021 budget. The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, has asked the Muhammadu Buhari-led federal executive to ensure the submission of the 2021 national budget before the end of September this year. Lawan stated this while referring the 2021 to 2023 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, which were submitted to the Federal Parliament by Buhari to the relevant committees of the Senate for necessary legislative action. He said the presentation of the budget before the end of September will enable the National Assembly to complete necessary work on the document and pass it before the end of December. The Senate President also asked committees on finance and national planning to engage all the revenue-generating committees very well to ensure a thorough job. Lawan charged both committees to engage the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning on the MTEF and the FSP request. He stressed the need for the panel to lend its support where necessary to revenue-generating agencies towards meeting expected revenue targets. The committees were given 4 weeks to submit their reports to the Senate. And now on other stories, the NDDC probe, National Assembly may decide Akpabio and others' fate today. Barring a last-minute change of plan, both the Senate and the House of Representatives will pass its verdict on the alleged illegal spending and management by the Interim Management Committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission today. It was confirmed that the House Committee on NDDC, which is investigating the Commission, and the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs had scheduled submissions of its report for today. The National Assembly is built to embark on 2 months annual recess, and today the committee had on Monday adjourned its investigative hearing indefinitely. The adjournment was after the acting managing director of the NDDC, Professor Daniel Ponde, collapsed while being grilled by the panel, and the Minister of Niger Delta's Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, had a dramatic engagement with the lawmakers during which he accused members of the National Assembly of getting 60% of the contracts from the Commission. The House at the plenary had denied the allegations, while the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, asked Akpabio to provide details of the contracts before 48 hours or face the full wrath of the law. The ultimatum expires today, when the House would hold its last sitting for the legislative year. A prominent member of the committee disclosed that the panel planned to submit its report before adjournment. Confirming the plan's submission, Chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Mr. Benjamin Kalu, said the report by the committee was already being prepared. And now on news coming from around Africa, Democratic Republic of Congo President announces lifting of virus restrictions. The Democratic Republic of Congo has lifted the state of health emergency introduced on March 24 to curb the spread of coronavirus in the country. In a televised address, President Felix Tshisekedi announced that from July 22nd, shops, banks, restaurants, cafes, bars, and businesses will resume in accordance with health measures. Schools, universities, and other educational establishments will reopen on August 3rd, while places of worship, stadiums, airports, international borders will be reopened from August 15. He, however, sounded a note of caution that will end the state of emergency does not mean the end of COVID-19 pandemic in the country. He urged Congolese to respect all health measures to limit the spread of COVID-19, which include the wearing of face masks in public places, hands washing, and checking of temperature. The Democratic Republic of Congo has recorded 8,534 cases since the 10th of March, including 196 deaths and 4,528 recoveries. And now still from around Africa, onto Zimbabwe, where Zimbabwe returns to strict lockdown amid virus surge. Zimbabwe has reported 1,713 cases, up from about 50 2 months ago, and President Emmerson Mnangagwa announced a night curfew, banned political, religious and social gatherings, and reduced business operating hours in order to try to slow the spread of the virus. Mnangagwa said the curtailing of freedoms they have always enjoyed and had grown accustomed to was necessary, although some claims the banning of the political gathering is aimed at suppressing an anti-government protest planned for July 27. According to the president, all businesses are to operate from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. local time, with only essential services providing exempted from curfew. The other people will only be allowed to go out from their homes to buy food and get medical treatment. In a statement, in an attempt to curb the spread of the COVID-19, President Mnangagwa initially introduced a 21-day lockdown on March 30th, banning large gatherings of most businesses except food stores. Right now, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we get updates from the United Kingdom. Stay with us.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT +1, that is 11 a.m. GMT +1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. Fight for glory, desire for victory.
I am Lizzie Johnson Suleiman, and I want to use this time out to invite all the women watching me right now. It's our International Women Conference again. I know you will not want to miss this. Regardless of what is happening, we are trusting God that God is set to do something great in our midst.
Power! Happy sounds! 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 Power!
The theme for this conference this year is No More Tears, and the date is on the 12th, the 13th and 14th of August. God's servant Apostle Johnson Suleiman will be with us, ministering greatly, and God using him to reach out to us again. So you don't want to miss this. Just get set, prepare yourself to be in this meeting.
Touch! 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 Touch!
It's a time of revival. It's a time of revitalization. It's a time to get ourselves hooked up again, connected again to the supernatural. And you see what God will do in your life. The Lord bless you.
Live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Auchi, Dove State, Nigeria. International Women Conference 2020.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT +1, that is 11 a.m. GMT +1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
Right now, updates from the United Kingdom, where on coronavirus, Boris Johnson says response show the might of the UK Union. The response to the coronavirus pandemic has shown the sheer might of the UK Union, Boris Johnson has said, ahead of today's visit to Scotland. The trip a year on since he became Prime Minister will see Mr. Johnson meet members of the armed forces and their families. He said troops had done vital work to support the NHS during the pandemic and praised Treasury job rentation schemes. But the SNP said the visit showed Mr. Johnson was in a panic about rising support from Scottish independence. And now the Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon said she had no plans to meet Mr. Johnson, but that she would continue to work with his government on the immediate priority of tackling coronavirus. Mr. Johnson said he pledged to be a Prime Minister for every corner of the United Kingdom, adding that the response to the pandemic had shown his government's commitment to the whole of the UK. The UK government has coordinated much of the UK's economic response to the virus, including the coronavirus job orientation follow-up scheme. And now moving forward on updates from the United States of America, where Trump to send search on hundreds of federal agents to cities. President Donald Trump is to send a search of federal security forces to U.S. cities in a crackdown on crime. Chicago and 2 other Democratic-run cities are being targeted in the Republican president's move amid a spike in the violence. But federal developments in Portland, Oregon have proved controversial. Local officials say they have raised tensions amid ongoing protests. Law and order has become a key plank to Mr. Trump's re-election bid in November. Since the death of on 25th of May of an unarmed black man, George Floyd, in a police custody in Minneapolis, Minnesota, there has been much protest, sometimes descending into civil disorder in sources of the U.S. cities. And meanwhile, gun violence has spiked in metropolitan areas including New York City, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Milwaukee. Operation Legend is named after a 4-year-old boy, Legend Tillafero, who was shot dead while sleeping in his family home in Kansas City in June. The boy's mother joined the president at Wednesday's announcements. The operation will see agents from the FBI, Marshal Service, and other federal agencies work with local law enforcement, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. The president, who accuses Democrats of being weak on crime, said in recent weeks there has been a radical movement to defend, dismantle, and dissolve the police department. All right, now on news from the business world, oil falls to $43 as the U.S. crude inventories rise. Oil prices fell as the United States government data showed a surprise rise in the country's crude inventories, and as tensions escalated between the U.S. and China. The international oil benchmark, Brent crude, fell 55 cents or 1.2% to $43.77 per barrel. U.S. West Texas intermediate crude dropped by 56 cents or 1.3% to $41.36. U.S. crude and distillate inventories rose unexpectedly, and fuel demand splitted in the most recent week, the Energy Information Administration said, as the sharp outbreak in the coronavirus cases has started to hit U.S. consumption. The U.S. President Donald Trump said that the outbreak would probably worsen before it got better, a shift from his previously robust emphasis on reopening the economy. However, a fresh dispute between Washington and Beijing put pressure on the prices after the U.S. told Chinese consulate in Houston to shut, and a source said China also considering to close the U.S. consulate in Wuhan. And other news on the news stories from the world of business, still Central Bank of Nigeria disburses 636.39 billion naira to commercial farmers. The total amount disbursed to farmers under the Commercial Agricultural Credit Scheme from inception in 2009 rose to 635.39 billion naira as of the end of March 2020. The Central Bank of Nigeria disclosed this in its economic report for the first quarter of 2020 on agriculture. The CBN stated that a total of 539.8 million naira loans were guaranteed to 3,161 farmers under the Agricultural Credit Guarantee Scheme in the first quarter of 2020. This represented a decrease of 53.9% and 34.8% below the levels in the preceding quarters and corresponding period of 2019 respectively. During the quarters, the African Development Bank, in collaboration with the federal government, signed a $500 million memorandum initiative to develop 4 special agro-industrial processing zones in the country. The CBN stated that the initiative was capable of boosting the structural transformation of the economy by providing opportunities for public and private sector investments. Right, we'll go on another break. When we are back, we'll get news from the world of sports. Stay with us.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. Fight for glory, desire for victory.
I am Lizzie Johnson Suleiman, and I want to use this time out to invite all the women watching me right now. It's our International Women Conference again. I know you will not want to miss this. Regardless of what is happening, we are trusting God that God is set to do something great in our midst.
Power! Happy sounds! 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 Power!
The theme for this conference this year is No More Tears, and the date is on the 12th, the 13th and 14th of August. God's servant Apostle Johnson Suleiman will be with us, ministering greatly, and God using him to reach out to us again. So you don't want to miss this. Just get set, prepare yourself to be in this meeting.
Touch! 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 Touch!
It's a time of revival. It's a time of revitalization. It's a time to get ourselves hooked up again, connected again to the supernatural. And you see what God will do in your life. The Lord bless you.
Live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Auchi, Dove State, Nigeria. International Women Conference 2020.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
Welcome back. Now on sports news. EPL title, club says it's an absolutely great moment. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp said having the opportunity to lift the Premier League trophy at the Anfield meant the world to him, despite having to do so in an empty stadium with fans shut out due to coronavirus. The Reds sealed a first top flight title for 30 years last month, but had to wait until after a thrilling 5-3 win over Chelsea in their final home game of the season to lift the Premier League trophy for the first time. Despite pleas for fans to stay away on the night Liverpool finally got their hands on the trophy, supporters crowded around the stadium even prior to kickoff, while the second half was accompanied by the constant crackling and fireworks lit by fans outside the ground. On the field, the club's men ensured a memorable night was accompanied by a positive result after just 2 wins in 5 previous games since they clinched the title. And the German again promised the fans a proper party with a parade planned throughout the city once restrictions are lifted. The result had far bigger consequences for Chelsea as they slipped to 4th and leave Frank Lampard's men still needing a point at home to Wolves at Stamford Bridge on Sunday to ensure a place in the Champions League. On other sports stories, we have Napoli to announce Osimhen's deal on Friday. Victor Osimhen is on the verge of joining Napoli from Lille in summer with the deal set to be announced on Friday, that's tomorrow. Osimhen's move to Napoli was delayed by negotiations over the striker's image rights. However, the 21-year-old will make his much-awaited switch to the Naples outfit with Gerano Gattuso side to set a pay of 80 million euros for the Nigerian international after reaching an agreement with Los Duques. Should the deal be completed, Osimhen will become Nigeria and Africa's most expensive footballer. He will eclipse the African record held by Ivory Coast Nicolas Pepe, who also moved from Lille to Arsenal for £72 million last summer. Osimhen scored 18 goals and provided 6 assists in 38 games across all competitions for Lille and was voted the club's player of the year last season, winning the Marc-Vivien Foé Prize for the best African footballer in League One in the process. And that's the size of the news for us on Celebration Television. If you're just joining us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. Nigerian president travels to Mali. Democratic Republic of Congo president announces lifting of virus restrictions. Coronavirus, Boris Johnson says response shows the might of UK Union. Oil falls to $43 as US crude inventories rise. And on sports, English Premier League title, Klopp says it's an absolutely great moment. And now on the photo of the day, we have a quote that says, "Not responding is a response. We are equally responsible for what we don't do." This simply means that sometimes silence means consent. So the things you don't do actually have implications to what you were supposed to do. You can also share your thoughts with us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, it's My Celebration TV. On Twitter, it's at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, it's Celebration TV. And don't you ever forget that the continuous transformation of our society is a collective responsibility of all. No matter the office you hold as a nation's president, a thought leader, an opinion molder, a character builder, a professional, or as a person pursuing passion, you have a duty to give your all to making the society a better place for us and the generations to come. So, you play your part and do it with all diligence. Thanks for watching the news on Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squatter. Have a nice day.
to 15.7 trillion naira